5 tips how to make money work for you. Let's face it, we live in a capitalist and free market environment. In our society, building wealth requires learning how to make money work for you, which includes understanding how investment can passively increase your wealth over time. Furthermore, this suggests that working more for money, that is, obtaining a better job, increasing skills, climbing the corporate ladder, and so on, is not the only thing you must do to optimize wealth creation. Unfortunately, the amount of money you can make from your career is limited to the amount of time you put into it. Money, on the other hand, is not constrained by health, age, or time. Money has the ability to work overtime and benefit from compounding effects. Your capital generates interest, and the interest that money earns interest as well. So, if money has the ability to accomplish the job better than you, why not just let it? This is why learning how to make money work for you is essential for everyone who wants to build a prosperous future. In part, the goal is to follow established investment tactics, such those from Kevin O'Leary, chairman of O'Leary Funds Incorporated, who said, "Money is my military, each dollar a soldier. I never send my money into battle unprepared and undefended. I send it to conquer and take currency prisoner and bring it back to me." The mindset of seeing money as something we can control is critical to accumulating wealth. It's also critical not to work for money till you die. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. In this video, we'll look at how to make your money work for you. To accomplish this, we'll look at 5 practical steps you can take right away. 1. Create concrete financial goals. Success in any area of life necessitates well-defined goals and desires, and the financial arena is no exception. It is not enough to desire wealth. You must also communicate why you desire it. As a result, setting realistic financial objectives is the first step in learning how to make money work for you. Wishing takes as much energy as planning, stated Eleanor Roosevelt, former First Lady of the United States. So, instead of longing for more money or accumulating fortune for the future, start planning. The first step is to determine your financial objectives. Your desire or goal must be SMART, which stands for specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. The more SMART your goals, the easier it will be to develop clear action plans to achieve them. Furthermore, your financial objectives must be wide enough to include short-term, save enough money for a down payment on a house within 2 years. Medium-term, pay for your children's college tuition in 5 years. And long-term goals, retire at age 50. And, perhaps most crucially, you must learn to prioritize. List your objectives in order of significance. If paying for college in 5 years is more vital than going on vacation in 6 years, the former must take precedence in resource allocation. It doesn't matter what your goals are. What matters is that you are clear about what you are working for, make them SMART goals, so you can establish action plans to achieve them. 2. Invest in your financial education. You've probably heard the expression, knowledge is power. While information is worthless without action, success begins with knowledge. Investing in education provides you with a competitive advantage over others. As a result, in order to attain your clearly defined wealth-building objectives, you must invest in your financial education. Robert Kiyosaki, an accomplished entrepreneur and author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, is one of the most vocal advocates of financial education. He compared the power of money to the power of financial education, saying, "Money is one sort of power, but financial education is far more powerful. Money comes and goes, but if you understand how it works, you can acquire control of it and start generating wealth." Positive thinking alone does not work because most individuals never learn how money works in school. Therefore, they spend their lives working for money. You can make better judgments if you understand how money can work for and against you, said Melody Hobson, president of Ariel Investments. Financial literacy is not about wealth, but about knowing money regardless of the quantity. It's all about how you approach it and how you react on opportunities. To make your money work for you, you must develop the habit of continuously learning about money. 3. Create a budget and stick to it. Budgeting is the best method to get your money to work for you. A good budget allows you to see where your money is coming from and where it is going. Budgeting is essential because having control over your money is the first step in making your money work for you. The simplest definition of a budget is telling your money where to go, according to Chet Oxenreider, author of Organized Simplicity, the clutter-free approach to intentional living. Before you can start saving and investing, your monthly income must be greater than your monthly costs. As a result, you must understand your expenses in depth in relation to your income, if they are excessive, given your financial objectives, and how you can minimize them when necessary to boost your savings and investing potential. The 50-30-20 budgeting system is a wonderful place to start. In this case, 50% of your monthly income is allocated to essential requirements: shelter, food, clothing, and utilities. 30% to wants, vacations, eating out, and so on, and 20% to savings and investments. Some people who want to retire early, the financial independence retire early movement, frequently utilize a technique in which their savings and investments account for 40% to 70% of total monthly income. This is referred to as extreme savings. If your financial goals do not necessitate such drastic steps, stick to the 50-30-20 rule. However, keep in mind that making your money work for you necessitates earning more than you spend. As a result, make sure you're saving enough money to accomplish your financial objectives. Budgeting your money is the key to having enough, stated U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren, who popularized the 50-30-20 rule. Once you've set a budget and decided how much of your money you'll save, make sure you have the discipline to keep to it. There are certain hacks that can assist you. First, keep track of your spending and compare it to the amount budgeted. This manner, you'll know when you're going to deplete your planned amount for a cost. This is critical in order to avoid overpaying. Second, automate your savings and investment process. In a moment, we'll discuss more about investment. But in the meanwhile, you may keep to your budget by automating your investing. Pay yourself first, remarked George Clason, author of The Richest Man in Babylon. Your expenses are money spent on other things and people. Your investment is money spent on yourself, which must come first. Investing automation is a wonderful approach to accomplish this. 4. Pay off your debts and prevent acquiring new ones. If you are already in debt, you must focus on paying it off before you can fully let your money work for you. What is the significance of this? Some debts, for example, car loans and school loans, have interest computed on the outstanding balance. In that instance, the faster you settle the bill, the less interest you pay. In these instances, it is preferable to prioritize debt repayment above investing. One alternative would be to divide your savings into investments and debt payments based on predicted investment returns and existing debt interest rates. If your predicted investment returns are larger, you can begin investing with confidence. If your loan interest rates are higher than your predicted investment returns, adapt accordingly, putting a greater priority on paying down high-interest debts. The debt snowballing strategy has helped many people with debt reduction. Here, you begin by paying off the lesser debts while making the minimum required payments on the rest, build momentum, and then pay off the higher amounts until all of your debts are paid off. Again, if the interest on your obligations exceeds the return on your investments, prioritize paying off your debts using your savings, the 20% in the 50-30-20 rule. Don't take on new debts while you're paying off your old ones. One of the reasons why creating a budget is the best approach to make your money work for you is because it allows you to plan ahead of time. It assists you in keeping your expenses under control so that you do not overspend. Maintain your budget. Every time you borrow money, you are stealing your future self. Nathan Morris, author of The Art of Getting Money, explained. You could have invested in your future self with the money you would use to repay debt. 5. Create an emergency fund. One method to avoid new debts is to set aside money for unexpected needs in an emergency fund. An emergency fund is a sum of money set aside to cover unanticipated expenses such as car repair and unexpected circumstances, job loss, uninsured medical situations. The majority of debts that people incur are the result of unanticipated expenses or situations. Instead of borrowing, generally at a high interest rate, to meet certain crises, an emergency fund allows you to overcome them with the money you have saved, with no interest payments to a lender. Set up an emergency reserve equal to 6 months of living expenses before letting your money work for you through investing, your basic needs or your basic needs plus wants, as per the 50-30-20 budgeting approach. If your monthly living expenditures are AED 7,000, you will need AED 42,000 in your emergency fund. Why should this take precedence over investment? If an emergency occurs and you do not have an emergency fund, You may be forced to sell your investments during an uptrend and lose all of your gains, or during a slump and take a loss on your investment. Which comes first, paying off debt or creating an emergency fund? It's preferable to start building your emergency fund, maybe 3 months of living expenses. Before you start paying down your debts, you will still have to make minimum required payments on all debts. This is because if you only focus on debt repayment and an emergency arises, you will be forced to incur further debt. Once you have some money in your emergency fund, focus on paying off your debt using the debt snowballing method before returning to finish your emergency fund. That's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Remember to subscribe and give a thumbs up to this video. Thank you for your time.